what it looks like. If you go to my Facebook page, you guys, I'll put that in the chat here. View here.
Hi, what's new with you? We seem to be live. We're having some fun juggling technology, but
I'm going
we're
to
from
be
a Zoom call
here,
into a StreamYard call.
Saving my chat from the StreamYard, from the Zoom.
Oh, I put the wrong link. Sorry, you guys.
Just for fun.
All right.
Getting there.
I put the wrong link. New Earth Entertainment. Here we go. There we go, you guys. We're live on New Earth Entertainment. I mean, the Freedom Collective Foundation. There we go.
All right. I am diving out of the Zoom audio
because the
echoes are getting me still.
That's okay, Mike. I'll see you on the other side. And for the rest of you guys, I just wanted to say thank you again for joining us today. We're going to go on to the New Earth Entertainment section, and we are going to introduce you to some of the wonderful people that are going to be building the New Earth with us right now. So on that note, you guys, I thank you very much for joining us today, and see you on the other side. New Earth Entertainment.
What do you think, Cheryl? Will it work for you?
I hope that this is okay and this is clear.
Cool.
This the easiest way we can get this information over to you. And the after party, the after show is going to go on for a few hours. So if you don't stay for the whole thing, that's okay. But hopefully you can catch just a little bit of it. So thank you again. We'll see you next month on the next New Earth Networking. And until then. Oh. Hello, Michael. Hi there, Michael.
All right. We had 4 people in here a moment ago. Where'd they go?
That's okay. We'll get there we'll get there in the end. How do you think that went?
Getting on another.
Yeah, and onto another. You could slip and fall. Are you entering us everywhere?
I'm in right now. I'm in. I'm just waiting for people to join.
The battery died on me.
Carrie's coming in. Shira's coming in. Boom. Shira. Carrie's in.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling excited.
So we're on live, you guys. Now listen, we are streaming to a few different platforms, a few different pages. And as we bring people on and as people are watching, we just finished an amazing gathering with New Earth Networking where I did things a little bit differently. I brought Mike into the conversation, and we just had a general chat about how exciting it is to be alive right now and how to be building our new Earth, and how lucky I feel and how honored I am to be walking alongside all of you. And Michael and I have come together over the last few weeks. And this section is really to highlight all the stars and all the wonderful New Earth entertainers that are stepping in front of the camera and hearing what it is that they're passionate about and what it is, how they're making a difference in the new world. So, Mike, I'm going to throw it over to you. It looks like we've got, quite a few people already here. And this is more of a general chat, more of a how are you doing and chewing the cud kind of conversation.
Yes. So now I would like to start to get to know people. We talked about the parameters of how we need to collaborate. And I've got slow internet speed at this particular location. So I don't know how well you're seeing or hearing me,
It's
but I'm
great.
my phone, which will be faster and better. So again, we'll be back to 2 devices on my end. But since Carrie, I don't know, I'd like to hear from Carrie. Tell us, unmute your mic. Oh, there we are. You're unmuted. There you are. I can hear you. What's up, Carrie?
Okay, better? Great. I've been on this beautiful planet for quite some time, many years of experience, and I like to say I am 62 years experience, not old, because we've got this thing that our language is purposely designed to create things as well. So I'm an inquisitive person, but I've been aware of this sort of stuff since I was about 7 or 8 or so, and probably more 8. And so when all this started to happen, it was like, oh, that's how they're doing it. It was more the thing, and quite an ingenious plan, really ingenious plan. I'm very much into supporting people to create the life that they want to create and the life that they love, rather than and always looking for solution. I got very tired of people wanting to stay in the energies and not moving forward from them. And so I want to support people to move forward so that we can and support them to build the communities. We've got many people who are geniuses and will be able to go out, create communities and the people that they need to be in those communities, all the rest. So I really want to support people to go out and do whatever it is that's going to keep creating, and to remind people that it's not about us having other people support us. What's what I want to say? We're so conditioned to think that someone else is going to be the one that helps us, but we're the one that helps us. It's an internal journey, not an external journey. And what you achieve internally is then you'll be able to create externally. And so that's sort of me in a nutshell.
Yes. Carrie is going to be one of our influencers, and I had a really wonderful chat with her earlier in this week. And she's holding the fort over there in Australia, in Melbourne, over there in Australia. And I'm so excited to have your light join us. And it's perfect timing to help people through this.
Yeah, especially with Dan being brought back in, and people are shocked. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
Do you want to tell me what's going on right now? Because I know there's people are starting to talk about masks. What's going on over on that side of the world?
Yes, there's talk about wearing masks again. Nothing I've heard in Melbourne, but that's in Brisbane.
Right.
In Brisbane, they've brought a new rule. They like to call it a law. That doctors are to follow the instructions of the government regardless of what they believe the patient needs. And somehow, because the Queensland government had decided on this, it can be Australia-wide instead of the other governments stepping in and making their own decisions. So it's Australia-wide, and it's sort of like the way the Nazis were able to treat people. So that's coming in. We don't know, with Dan being in, who knows, but I'm not really interested. My focus is more on supporting people to create what they want rather than get stuck with what's happening outside of them.
Right.
And to learn that it's not the government, it's not the systems that's going to help them, it's you that helps yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. So sorry, I don't have much more about any goss on that side of things, but
well, that's it. I mean, that's enough goss right now. I mean, the fact that they're still pushing the masks and the fact that they're continuing this lie is enough for us to continue to walk forward in this new direction. So every
Yeah.
person that stands up and does what you're doing is helping consciousness in that direction. So
Yeah, well, I was surprised, Sheena, that I've heard a few people gone overseas and even to America, and they've said no one talks about it. It's not on the TV. It's not. It's and I'm like- and we're all we're shocked. It's like really
yes,
because that's all you hear here. Every news report, no matter what it is, they'll say they'll bring in the CV word somewhere along the line. And it's like really, it's gone. How can you hold on to something that just doesn't exist? Is really quite an interesting tale for sure.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to speaking to grandchildren and
yes.
great grandchildren about this. So
Yes, that's a really good thing to say. I mean, this is a time in history where we're going to be, I mean, I talk about it almost every day. So, we have to remember they're growing up in the lie. And so the more we, continue to, defend truth, we have to let them know the truth of this situation.
yeah, yeah, and we've all been brought up in a lie. So um, people like us are aware, and we're there for people who are starting to wake up. Even those in the truthers and what have you, they're still caught in the system and not realise it. There's going to be a shock, and we just need to be there for them and support them,
Yes.
regardless of the decisions they made,
Hmm.
and for whatever reason, just to be there for them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's right. Carrie, it's a very interesting thing because when I was in Australia, my focus was on Australia.
yeah,
And now that I'm here, like, I mean, Michael and I have been working every day together, and we're really focused on the issues over here, but I don't feel the issues anymore. Like,
right.
I'm not sure if I manifested this reality of abundance and no mask and this, that, and the other, but our issues are still here, but we're facing other issues other than the masks. And I'm
Yeah,
getting the mortgage over here is what's on our plate. We're dealing with a
yeah,
little bit bigger over here, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, they're doing that here. They've destroyed all the land titles,
oh,
and yeah, things are changing here. Slowly, they've made a lot of major corporations to be cyber attacked,
yeah.
and now they're saying, oh, this is not good things. We know where that's leading to.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's a lot of things going, not just the mask, but it's all under the guise that to protect us. It's like you know. But
Right.
good news, there was a major testing station down the road from me that closed a couple of months ago. There's only one that I know of that's still open
Mhm.
in my area, so that's good.
Mhm.
uh, yeah, it's I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very sad, and I've still there's children who have had their juice,
Yeah.
like even in January, and they're still coughing now. And
Oh, no. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
So yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not good. Well, I did see, the centers are closing down very quickly. And I mean, I'm not saying quickly, but it seems to be there's a trend happening where the police are going in and closing down the centers. So that's really good to
What
see.
what centres are they?
This was it was Europe, somewhere in Europe.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it
Good.
was, yeah, somewhere in Europe. I'm not sure exactly where, but it just seems like more and more is happening.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, it cannot be sustained. They're talking about sustainability all the time. Well, this is one of the things. It's just not going to happen.
yeah.
And I mentioned the other day they keep talking about sustainable cities and buildings and what have you, but they don't talk about sustaining the health of children. So that's totally ignored.
Well, Carrie, I just want to say thank you for the strength and the courage to have your focus on this, and when as you're getting more and more comfortable in front of the camera, and you're you know getting more successful in what it is that you're doing, I would love to have another interview and have a proper interview of specifically your secret sauce, but you know it's so nice to, first of all, see you in front of the camera and just to hear your passion of why you're doing this and to see your strength of doing it too, because you've never done this. You didn't go to school for, awakening the world, you know?
Yeah, thank you. I don't see it as strength or courage. I just see it's just something I do. It's nothing more. It's needed. It's not personal. It's not about me. It's about what can I do for the others, because I can see that there are other ways. We don't need it to be the way that people believe it to be. Yeah. So thank you. And yes, it's huge to be on camera, but I do really look forward to the interview with you later. That'd be great.
Yes. Well, anytime, this is open mic night, so or open mic time, so anyone is welcome to chime in and to share their thoughts. And Carrie, you're more than welcome to come and go or leave or stay in the room if you want. We'll welcome the next person on if there's somebody else that wants to come on.
I know.
Michael!
I'd love to hear Michael Alexander talk with you, and I'm certain that he's got some health challenges, and he's a really, really brilliant, probably unique intellect in the law world with an amazing history.
Awesome.
And we introduced him to some people that can help with little health challenges. Give the dude a hug once in a while.
Wow.
And he's so eager to be of assistance to so many people's ventures. He's a real lifesaver. Let's hear from you, brother.
If there he goes, Michael. There he goes.
I'm sure you really don't want me to rain on your parade. I mean, I appreciate the enthusiasm and the spirit.
He's got a great voice if we can hear it. Michael, are you with us?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah, I can hear him. Go, Michael.
It just, I've been around the block for 41 years in this world, and I'm almost 60. My earliest memories go back to age 3, vividly being a troublemaker from age 5 on. Look, you all have hope, and I don't. That's what this game has taught me. Hope is an illusion, like everything going on around us. The Constitution, you have rights. Well, that's an illusion. That's a lie. They taught me that when I was 5. I grew up to learn differently. I grew up to prove differently. It's not my opinion. It's based on factual experience. I've spent 41 years in the courts. Because I think it's fair? No. Because I think there's justice? Absolutely not. But you only get the proof if you go into the lion's den and you steal the piece of meat out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. Do I think we're going to get anywhere? Absolutely not. But for me, it's just what I do. I don't have anything better than to challenge the system, than to challenge the government, than to stand up to the corruption. Do I think I'm going to make a difference? Most likely not. But what's the alternative? There isn't one.
Michael, can I ask? I don't know if you're allowed to say this. I know you're a lawyer, and I know you see both sides of the coin. Did you see these sides of the coin when, no, we won't talk about that, because I think that would probably be exposing too much. But I guess let's tap into the
look. Let me make this clear. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I don't even have a high school education. I quit school in 10th grade. I'm a high school dropout. Right. Just because I have an IQ somewhere near 200 doesn't make me stupid, but it makes me formally uneducated. These people don't want me in their world. They look at me, I'm this long-haired hippie-looking rocker from the 60s looking rebellion puke.
I love it.
People hate me everywhere I go. It doesn't bother me. If you don't hate me, then I must not be doing my job. But look, it's a network. It's a network of lies and illusions that have been going on for nearly 100 years. I mean, the fatherless aspect and the family law thing, that came out of the late 40s, 50s, 60s. All these people returned from the war, had all these children, had all these issues, had all these breakdowns, and the government decided we needed to come in and deal with domestic relations. Then they realized, hey, there's money to be made here. And that's the motivation of your government. Your government is a business. It is not for the purpose of helping the poor and saving the destitute and providing liberty and justice for all. Why do you think I had a problem starting in kindergarten? They told me you put your hand over your heart and you look at this piece of cloth with colors and stars and stripes and you say this pledge of allegiance. And I'm like, whoa, 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 this don't feel right. And I objected and I refused to do it. Something didn't feel right. Oh, what did I do? I got in trouble. Oh, everybody does it, Johnny. You have to do it too. Well, wait a minute. I got a problem. Well, you don't have a right to have a problem. Everybody does it and you'll do it too. You will conform. You will be conditioned. You will be programmed. You will be trained. Well, that all failed. I spent more time in the principal's office than I did in the classroom. And the first report card I got, actually, so they called them a progress report in kindergarten. It was before you even got your first grade report card. And it said, oh, does not listen to and follow directions, does not play well with others, does not follow the teacher's instructions. Look, I had a problem with all that stuff. It took me 41 years going to court to learn I know there's no such thing as liberty and justice for all. And that proved I had the right feeling when I refused to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Something don't feel right. Took me 41 years to prove it. But there's no such thing as liberty and justice for all. These are all just words and phrases that are used to market the sale of the illusion. Notice how you see it every day on the TV. Oh, support our troops that go and fight for our freedom. Are you serious? Is that what they do? Or do they go fight for corporations, kill other people to come back and get a college degree for free? The GI Bill. Look, it's all a lie. They're not fighting for your freedom. They're fighting to have Coke and Pepsi in Iran, Iraq, and China. That's what it's all about. Corporations run the planet. Corporations rule the people. Corporations rule the government. It's all about money and power. And these people got it, and they got it all locked up. And now seeing this for the last 50 plus years, look, I have no hope. I have no faith. I look at my people around me. I don't fear people from Iran, from Iraq, from Afghanistan. I don't fear the Russians. I fear my freaking neighbors that work for these corporations, that work for the corporation government, that sell me out for a nice paycheck, bonus at the end of the year, and nice benefits for their family. They put themselves in that position over the rest of us and do the bidding of these tyrants. That's who I fear. I fear the guy that lives up the street. I fear the lady that lives around the block. I fear the clerk of the courts because all these people are my actual enemies.
Well said, Michael. Well, we've got some great thoughts here that are being shared.
What I got is 41 years of judicial experience in the courtroom. I started out in family law and had to disqualify my judge like the second time I appeared because I realized it was rigged. I started suing judges back in 1992, sued state judges in federal court, filed writs in my appellate court. I had 3 courts, the federal court, the state appellate court, and the state superior court, all in a 2-block triangle. I called it the triangle of court corruption. And I just put one court against the other court against the other court until I made so much trouble. Well, I had to place a deputy district attorney under citizen's arrest. I had to allege RICO. I said, look, they took my custody and visitation so they could jack up my child support so they could make money.
Yes.
They have a vested interest. That's what it was all about.
Michael, you know what I like about you? You talk with conviction, and that's what we need right now, because I have been educating people on this topic, the family law court system. And my solution, or our solution, one of my clients I've been a ghostwriter for, we are targeting the wedding industry. We have created a beautiful ebook, flowers and gowns, all this wonderful advice that you would get when you get married. And then we throw in the kicker and the truth bomb. Do not get married. Do not have your children. Do not, well, you have children to get married, but just don't go down that path. Do not follow that path. Go down this path. And because this is such a problem, this is an issue. And if we just educate these people, we can fix this problem in a one generation time. But it's going to get the conviction, like your conviction, out to the world. And that's why it's so good that at least you're speaking here today. It's good that we're following through on what our mission is, which is building a new world without this corruption. And you said it right there, though. They have targeted the heart of the family, creating laws that separate us, that divide us. And it's something that we need to closely consider very clearly.
When you divide, you conquer. And if you look, Facebook's been around for 20 some years now. And so have groups like this for 20 some years. Has it gotten better? No, we've just gotten more divided. Websites, everybody can have a website. There's now billions of websites. After they killed George Floyd, billions more websites. Black Lives Matter. Look, we're all divided. Everybody's got a website and Facebook page and a Facebook group, and we're going in 10 million different directions, and that's how they continue to win. We cannot unite because we can't agree that white is the same color. We can't agree on the same time, even if we're in the same time zone. People are so subdivided. They're just so split up and splintered. And everybody now with a computer or a phone has an opinion. Oh, I think we should do this. Hey, I got a great idea. Well, 41 years later, look, I had those ideas 41 years ago. I went to my politicians. I went to my congressman. I went to my senator. I went to my police department. I went to my county sheriff. I went to the grand jury. I went to the courts. I went to the federal court. I went to the Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. Been arguing there since 1995. Look, it's all rigged. And at the end of the day, your neighbors, the police officers, the sheriffs, the guys with the badges and the guns don't care. What they care about is, A, I get my paycheck, I get my benefits, I get my yearly bonus because I do the bidding of my master. They pay me. They put this badge on me. They give me this gun. They give me this piece of paper. They point me in a direction, wind me up, and send me off. And I go do it. Why? So me and mine can have and go over you and yours. That's what it's all about. And as long as we live like that, we don't have a hope in hell. And I don't see it changing. People have become complacent. They're comfortable. And now you give everybody, especially the millennials, we got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. We got all these different platforms with you can carry them around and now you're even more disconnected. It didn't bring us together. I thought, the internet's going to save us. Shit. It just subdivided us down more and more and more. Now everybody can have a voice and go in 100,000 different directions. And then you got all these people that, hey, the corporations and the government's making money off of it. Now you got all these other people out there making money off the other side. Hey, I can teach you family law. I can teach you how to fight. Send me $200 and I'll start throwing crap at you. And everybody, I got people going out there and trying to read the law and read the Constitution, and they're coming up with totally contrary interpretation. Well, I think it means this. I can use this word from this case and this line from that case and combine the two and create something new. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Wow. When did you finally put the two and two together and it went from there's something wrong with the system to the system's operating as it should?
Oh well, look. Once I figured out what was going on, I found people in my own little Fresno County, California,
Yeah.
that had temporary custody and visitation orders that were 10, 12, 15 years old, could never get a trial. And they told me this: you get first, third, and when applicable, fifth weekend visitation with your child. And why is that? Well, we do this all the time. That was their rule. We do this all the time rule. I go, hey, I think that might be unconstitutional. You know what they told me?
Mm.
You're probably right, but it would take a better attorney than you to prove it. Oh, honey, the game was on. And so I figured out, look, they're only going to give me first, third, and fifth weekend, so I have like 33% visitation. Why? So they could max out my child support. That's what it was about. It wasn't about the best interest of my children. It wasn't about my fitness or unfitness as a parent. It was about money.
Mhm.
And why do you think I placed the DA under citizen's arrest? He discriminated against me as a qualified individual with a disability, a hate crime. He committed contempt by filing false papers with the court that contained lies, false allegations, and they did it for the purpose of money. And then they sent me every month these green little envelopes that were an illegal attempt to collect a debt called child support. Hello. I placed Skippy under citizen's arrest in 1996 in open court. It's out there on the web on thousands and thousands of websites. On my site, it's got like 1.5 million views. I've been doing this for a few days. I tell people I spent 20 minutes in court once for 41 years. So I've been around the block. Look, I know what they do. 90% of every motion I ever filed's been denied. Do you think that stopped me? No. I'll lose every skirmish. I'll lose every battle, but I win the war. And case in point, it took 5 years. It took 5 judges going to the federal court as defendants. It took half a dozen writs. It took half a dozen interlocutory appeals. I got 49 of the 50-50 timeshare with my children in 1995. I spent 1 week on, 1 week off for the next 12 years being daddy. That's what my goal was. It wasn't about arresting the DA. It wasn't about, and when I alleged RICO, racketeering influence corrupt organization between the DA and the judge for the purpose of taking my custody for the purposes of generating money in child support, oh, you better believe it, buddy. Mail fraud, the first overt predicate act of RICO. Title 18 USCS 1961 et sec, and all that follows.
Mhm.
And as soon as I did that, what happened next month? I never got another green envelope in the mail ever.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Mhm.
But look, when you do what I do, well, they just cut you loose. They'd hold me in court. They'd have every other case heard. I'd be the last soul sitting in the courtroom, and then they'd call my case so nobody would hear it. Nobody would see it. Nobody would know. It's just by design. Everything they do is by design. It's calculated. So
Yes.
they may cut me loose and let me slide because they go after the easy fish, the people that don't know, the people that can't fight back.
Mhm.
And that's why they have you controlled with lawyers. Especially the thing I hate most is dependency court, juvenile court, because they throw that confidentiality tag on it.
Mhm.
Is the way they cover it all up. You know,
Yes.
I was really appalled a couple years back when they're screaming about all these children on the border in these camps covering up with aluminum foil blankets, and I'm like, yeah, where the hell are you in your own county at your own juvenile court saying, how can they do this to the children? Those children live here. They're citizens. Those children on the border are illegal aliens, are not citizens, are not from this country, and you care more about them than you do your own. We're so subdivided as a culture, as a society. We're so misled. We're so blind. And a lot of it's intentional. People want to be stupid. People don't want to know. They don't want to learn and they don't want to do anything. They're happy in their little slave life with their Twitter, their cell phone, their Instagram. Their look, that's just the way it is. Do I think we can turn this? Not now. I thought that for 10 years. I thought that for 20 years. I stopped for 10 years while I raised my children. Look, it's only gotten worse. I'm still in the courts now. I got 2 writ of mandamuses pending against 2 California directors of state agencies and another case, a writ of mandamus against my chief of police and my city mayor. If I reach out and touch you, I reach out and touch you at the top. I don't play with the little people. I go after the people that are in the power, that are the ones responsible. I reach out and I touch them. And first I'll fight them, then I fight them and their attorney, the city attorney in one case, this California Attorney General's office in the other case. And then I end up fighting the judge. It's just standard operating procedure. It's what I've learned over 41 years. You fight them all, and I expect to be fighting the judge. It's only a matter of time. And sure enough, it happened a week ago. Guy didn't want to let me make an argument. Didn't want to hear about the Supreme Court case of Woods versus the Superior Court. Do you think I care whether he wanted to hear it or not? I'm objecting. I'm making a record, and he's trying to cut me off and running off to where I'm calling the Rodriguez matter. We're off the calendar in this case. The record's closed. Hey, you think you can do that and get away with it? He granted a demur, granted me leave to amend, and that saved him from an appellate review by writ. Do you think I took that shit? No way. I immediately did an ex parte motion for reconsideration, because if that's denied, well, then I can go seek a writ of review in the appellate court. So if you think you're going to deny me the right to make a record, that violates California canon of judicial ethics. I think it's 3.4 B, where the judge is required to give me ample time, reasonable opportunity to make a full, fair, and complete record. And if he doesn't, well, he's violating the canons. If he doesn't treat me with courtesy and respect, treats me differently than he treats others, well, then he's violating the canons. You don't think what's coming next is a motion for disqualification? It's on the horizon. I don't care what people do. I only care what I do. And if I don't do anything, ain't nothing getting done. Look, I'm a Pink Floyd fanatic, and I listened to this one song, and the words were waiting for someone or something to show you the way.
Yes.
I spent 10 years looking for someone to show me the way, only to realize there ain't nobody out there. And one day somebody said, "Do you ever stop to think it was you?" And I was stunned. So I'm just doing my part.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Mike, I think you kind of you took 10 years trying to find your way, and it's almost like it took you 10 years to figure out that there's something else up. And we're to the point where we're like, alert, hello, there's a problem on the planet here, and it has to do with the judiciary system. You know, they're telling us that the criminals are getting justice, or it's criminal justice, but the criminals just seem to be getting all the justice. And I mean, we have an SOS alert situation. I'm surprised that you're still dealing inside the court system. But I mean, what do you think?
I'm surprised I'm still alive and they haven't killed me. And if it wasn't for the millions and millions of people I have standing beside me, they would have. Look, last numbers I got, we're well over 18.5 million people. But that's not even a drop in the frickin' bucket. When you consider there's 330 million or so in the U.S., 280 million are voting or capable of voting, and out of that, we get maybe a 50% turnout. Look, you got to ask yourself, well, where's these other 50% of people, and why ain't they out there voting? Because they realize it's all rigged. If you think voting is not rigged, but everything else in government is, you need mental help. I mean, it's just that simple. It's all rigged, including the voting. How do you think we keep these people like Nancy Pelosi, a career 30, 40-year politician, Joe Biden, same thing. Look, how does the mole, Mitch McConnell from Kentucky, continuously get reelected when he stands there and says, we're not going to do anything for the people? and he gets voted back in,
Yeah.
and he's the speaker of the leader of the Senate. Come on.
I mean,
Look,
Michael, you're touching on a topic right now. We can spend hours, days, months on the illegitimacy of politics and government. And I mean, we need to throw in there the court system. We need to throw in there the medical system, the education system, the science. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, this is why we are creating the new earth. And Michael, I would like to say that, I mean, even though we're going to be wrapping up here soon because we're going to bring this to a close, but I would really love for you to come back because there is something in your voice that stands strong, and we need more male voices out there. You have said a couple of lines that I'm just going to pull your voice and put a nice meme on that, because if we can get people to hear the conviction that is in your voice, I think maybe that might be the white dove that comes up and changes the direction of the situation.
And I'll send you his YouTube channel. He's not hiding.
Oh, great! Oh,
pretty
you
bold.
even have a channel. I mean, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
To hear. That's wonderful.
So Michael has
I've got
a
court videos
collaboration
on there
with
where
Mark
I've
Fidelman,
caught police
who's
officers and district
in the
attorneys.
San Diego area. Are we talking over each other? Sorry. But it's called Divorce Matters. And it's an amazing podcast where they
I would
focus on
love
such
to, Michael.
topics. So
Listen.
there's a lot of content that's very apropos for what you're doing.
You're just telling me this now. I mean, I would love to promote Michael in our section. We have a section for Mariposa Hope, and there's dismantling the family court corruption. There's the ebook that I wrote about sharing with people that are getting married. If we can include Michael Alexander's Divorce Matters podcast in this section, that's going to be a wonderful opportunity to get people over to seeing Michael. And I am so excited to see what he has to share. Talk about a goodie bag. You've just left the best for the very last.
Well, look, they don't even
You never know who's going to show up, but yeah, there's so many brilliant people.
Back in the 90s,
he's one of my favorites.
Back in the 90s when I started this, it was all hidden and covered up, which is why they kept me till last in the court so no one else could hear it and see it. A friend of mine, John Castle, going deep back in the day, had his own local television show on cable. I'd be in court on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'd be on live television from 6 to 7 every Saturday night. So that was the other reason they quit screwing with me. Back then, they wanted to keep this covered up. Now, they don't care if you know. Why? Because we're all so enslaved, and we're all so subdivided, and we can't do anything about it. It's going to take, unfortunately, the second revolution, the shot heard around the world again, before anything changes. And why do you think they're trying to depopulate the planet? Why do you think they're getting all these people? Come down and get your vaccine. Come down and get your booster. Every month it's going to be something new. Come down and get this. Come down and get that. Trust us, because we care about you. We care about the homeless and feeding them every Thanksgiving and Christmas. The day after, we could care freaking less. Look, we just gave Ukraine like trillions of dollars. And for 200 million, I believe it was, the Housing and Urban Development said we could wipe out homelessness in the U.S. Why don't we? Because we don't want to. Because it's not on their agenda. It's in their best interest to keep us suppressed, keep us oppressed, keep us beat down, keep us conditioned, brainwashed, and uneducated. Why do you think law is so complicated? So the average person cannot go in there and seek justice. It's just us. It's the just us system.
You.
And
Michael,
if you're not in it,
I thought I had uncovered a nice golden nugget with criminal justice, but you've just punched it up a notch by saying just us. It is just us. We don't need to go into that system to dispute resolve our issues. We can do this ourselves. We can fight amongst ourselves and resolve matters amongst ourselves. I would love to see you again, Michael. I would love to have a proper interview. This is more of just a casual chat, just to get to know who you are. And like I said, Michael has left that very last bit of nugget till the very end. So I would have given you a warmer welcome, or, maybe rolled out the red carpet had I known that you were talking about divorce, but, we'll leave that till next time. And as we wrap up New Earth Entertainment live show, after show, I wanted to say thank you, everybody who is watching and who has joined us in this after show. And Michael, thank you to you for the very last minute wrangling of getting this created. And I think even though we had a couple of hiccups, I love you. I love where this is going, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So do you have a few more words before we close up shop?
Well, what's the right URL for us to send people to, for me to put on screen at the end here?
Oh, well, that would be the freedomcollectivefoundation.org/aftershow. And if you want, I can present that, or it's on my desktop if you want me to share my screen. Hold on here just a second. And here we go. We're going to share my screen right now. And if you guys go to Freedom Collective Foundation, this is my website. And if you go up here to the community, if you go up here, after show, we're going to go here. And this is where you're going to get the link to go to the goodie bag. The goodie bag is right here. This is going to take you into this platform. And this platform here is where the knowledge that you're going to use to gain after this show. If you go to the education section, here we have all kinds of different courses that you can just take a teaser, a taste bite of what it is that we're talking about in each one of these pods. And as you go through these pillars of dedication and service, you're going to find a brand new way of looking at each one of these areas of your life and evolving to the most optimal areas of happiness, of strength, of abundance. And even though every pod is different and we're all working towards different pods, the number one pod that people must be working on right now is the Self to Sovereignty pod. And if you go into this course, you're going to see quite a few different table of contents. You're going to have a Knowing Natural Law, which is a 9-hour Mark Passio workshop. Get to know from an esoteric perspective what natural law means, understanding the Hermetic principles, which is what governs your actions in the natural law setting. And once you understand the basics, actually fast forward to taking action, because we're no longer doing research. If you take action, I highly suggest not only watching this hour inspirational clip with Dan Mintz from freedomhubs.org. If you look at this, you're going to find Dan from freedomhubs.org explains everything that we are going to fully understand in this awakening journey, learning about our slavery and how we are living in the feudal system and how we can establish ourselves inside this feudal system, but in our natural living statute and status, and applying the natural living laws of the land and not the tyrannical rules of the corporation, which is what is seen in the U.S. citizen status. So learn what it means to be a U.S. citizen, learn how to become a national, and then once you have established yourself properly, then establish your, I don't even like to call it work, I don't like to call it business. We are all private membership associations. We're all conducting our private matters between each other, whether that's somebody getting a haircut or somebody learning about natural law or somebody learning how to apply natural law into their businesses or their secret sauce of making money. You know, these are our fruits of our labor, and we shouldn't be getting taxed on our fruits of labor. And so Amber shows you how to set up your business so that you can avoid not only tax, but avoid the law, the rules, and the regulations that are coming with Agenda 2030. So please join us further to access your goodie bag. Go to Freedom Collective Foundation /Aftershow, where you will have the links for next time if you want to join us next time. But here you have the iPledge, which is to access the foundation. It's really just a consciousness awareness that you are pledging to shape the future. And as you dip into your goodie bag and dive into each one of these courses, you are committed to evolving yourself, to purchasing the products, whether it's how to get your business into a PMA or how to structure your water and get 30% more yield from your gardening. All of these products and services are inside the goodie bag. And so have fun, explore, and start purchasing inside the products and the services of the new world. And it's only going to take a little bit of time before you start to feel what this is all about. And you start to tap into the abundance and the never-ending opportunities that are at our fingertips right now. So thank you very much for, again, joining us. And I'm going to stop sharing now, but say thank you again for joining us today. And Michael, again, thank you for bringing everybody together and doing what you do best. And again, everybody, you are so smart there. That's what I love about you, Michael. You're always thinking on the fly or thinking like a fish. You look like a fish just then. A fish out of water. On that note, you guys, we love you. We're going to say goodbye until next month and until next time. See you later. Bye for now.
And our best will keep getting better. Blessings. Thank you, Sheena.
Yeah.